3, 2, 1. Doug Kide here with this week's Patriots video mailbag. Tweet me your questions at Doug Kide using the hashtag MailDoug, and maybe I'll answer them here or in my weekly written mailbag on Nesson.com, which drops every Friday morning. First question here, Mitch asks, rank the importance of addressing these positions this offseason the way that I see it. Quarterback, wide receiver, 3-down middle linebacker, run-stuffing defensive tackle / nose tackle, and tight end. Mitch, I'm right there with you at quarterback number 1. Jarrett Stidham and Jake Dolegala are the only quarterbacks on the Patriots' current roster, and that won't do heading into 2021. And that is the most important position on the field on offense or defense. So that's absolutely number 1. I agree with you that wide receiver is number 2. Patriots just don't have that top-end weapon at wide receiver right now, for lack of a better term. Julian Edelman, Jacoby Myers, N'Keal Harry, Marquise Lee. They've got some players who could be useful in 2021, especially Myers. But I think that they need to get maybe a number 1 and a number 2 this offseason. It's pretty dire at that position. Third, I would actually put defensive tackle based on who the Patriots free agents are this offseason. Adam Butler, Lawrence Guy, those were the Patriots' top 2 defensive tackles last season. Both of those guys are free agents, unrestricted free agents, so Patriots either have to re-sign them or look outside the team, sign a free agent, address it in the draft very early, something like that, because the Patriots' run defense was really struggling last season, and a lot of that was the defensive tackles. Bo Allen is on the roster right now. He was injured for all of 2020, so we'll see if the Patriots do bring him back. Number 4, I would put tight end. Patriots have Ryan Izzo, Matt LaCosse, Devin Asiasi, and Dalton Keene. I think that they can expect some improvement out of Asiasi and Keene, but it's not guaranteed, and the Patriots really need guaranteed production out of that position. They only gained 254 yards last season. Think back to 2016 when they had Rob Gronkowski and Martellus Bennett. Those guys put up over 1,200 yards combined. Then if you go back to 2010, 2011, 2012, it was even more. So I think that there's a way for Asiasi and Keene to improve, but also add a better veteran option at that position just to ensure that you get that production that you want. Then I would put linebacker last, just because Dante Hightower is coming back. I think that that's a little bit of an underrated storyline of this offseason. I think that he will really boost that group. Plus, the Patriots do have Josh Uche and Anthony Jennings, 2 guys who could take those second-year leaps in 2021. Second question here, Adam asks, which second-year player will take the biggest leap this season? This comes down to Uche and Asiasi, 2 of the guys that I just mentioned. And I would actually say Uche, simply because he did show a little bit more potential in 2020, especially as a pass rusher. I thought he looked pretty comfortable dropping back in coverage. He needs to prove it as a run defender, but he was the second-round pick. I think he's got the higher potential. I do think that Asiasi will be better as well, but Uche is the better player, and that's why the Patriots drafted him higher than Asiasi. Final question here, Skippy asks, N'Keal Harry doesn't get open, but he is supposed to make contested catches and has shown some of this ability. Do you think he has not been given a chance with more targets? Harry, I do think that he has a chance to take another leap forward in year 3. I think it will help if the Patriots pass the ball more, simply because there weren't that many targets to go around in 2020. Cam Newton really wasn't throwing the ball very often, and when he was, it was usually going to James White or Jacoby Myers. So if you get in a quarterback who is throwing the ball more, then maybe N'Keal Harry does get more of those opportunities. But I don't think that he should be guaranteed a starting role in this offense. I do even think that there's the possibility, even if it might be, not that likely, that the Patriots do actually move on from N'Keal Harry in some sort of trade. So I'm not, putting him or penciling him in as a starter by any means or anything, but I do think the Patriots could find better ways to get him the football.
PNC Bank, helping to make banking easier.